Welcome back to Anime Fight Club, everyone. My name's Grim. Today we're checking out Demon Slayer episode 1 entitled Cruelty. And what a way for it to start off. It starts off with this kid carrying this girl that's dripping in blood through this blizzard covered forest. By himself, he's thinking to himself, his voice sounds distraught. You hear him saying that he promises he'll save Nezuko, which must be the girl he's carrying, obviously. Then he later on says that that's his sister. And he proclaims that he will save this girl. So even though we don't know who either of them are or what's going on, as the viewer, you have no choice but to root for this kid. But then, typical storytelling fashion, it switches straight to something completely different. We see this young boy with his family, and he's talking with his mother, telling her that he wants to do everything he can to make sure that they have a nice holiday. And the music's all swelling and heartwarming and whatnot, and he's interacting with his siblings, and the mother seems to love him. Everyone seems to adore this kid. And then the music changes to something much more ominous. Right after Tanjiro says, "Whatever happens when happiness is destroyed, it's always followed by the smell of blood," giving me goosebumps and reminded me of the title of the series, Demon Slayer. So now I'm super excited to see what's coming. But then we change scenes and we see Tanjiro coming down the mountain, and he helps some people on the street. Some kid comes out with a bloody nose, like he was getting messed up. He got accused of stealing a plate, and he asked Tanjiro to sniff the plate. Well, he just asked Tanjiro for help. Tanjiro sniffs the plate and says he thinks a cat did it, ridding the boy of accusation, which is a huge clue of this boy's, I guess, powers. He has this incredible sense of smell. We don't know where this is going just yet, but after Tanjiro helps more people in the village, he attempts to head up the mountain when he's stopped by a guy that lives on the side of the trail that Tanjiro is trying to traverse. The old guy stops Tanjiro and almost forces him into his house, telling him it's too dangerous to go up the mountain while it's dark because of the demons, which makes me excited again, getting me excited for the title of this series, Demon Slayer. The old man and Tanjiro talk over some food. Tanjiro asks the old guy some questions, and he answers them by saying that demons can come in the house at any time and kill who they want, but the demon slayers exist to protect everyone from these demons, giving us more information on the demon slayers. And then Tanjiro starts to reminisce about his grandmother and what she told him before she passed. Once daylight reaches, Tanjiro gets up and makes his way up the mountain. You can't help but feel like something bad's about to happen though. Sure enough, Tanjiro says he smells blood and then starts running up the mountain, only to find a horrific sight. He runs up to his sister Nezuko. She's covered in blood in the snow. He has no idea what's happened. We have no idea what's happened, and he continues to walk past his sister with extreme courage, because I would have been done for. There's no way. He walks around the corner, looks in the building or in his house, and his entire family is slaughtered. They're all covering each other. They're covered in blood. And this is when he picks up Nezuko and he's running down the mountain. So this is the scene that we saw when the show started. Tanjiro's racking his brain trying to figure out how this could have happened. He tries to blame it on a bear, a robbery. But we know, especially since he just talked to that old man about demons, context clues tells us some demon got in there. And how terrible, man. He was already headed back home, and he stopped just because that old man stopped him. So you gotta wonder, would he have been able to save them if he made it up there, or would he have died as well? As he's carrying his sister down the mountain, she starts to transform, knocking him off of the mountain. He just lays on his back, still confused about what's going on. Nezuko starts to transform into a demon, and now Tanjiro's defending himself from his own sister. While Nezuko is attacking him, Tanjiro has the same thought of while he was sleeping soundly at that old man's house, they were all being brutally murdered. He also had the thought of, did Nezuko do this? But he realized that when he found her, she was protecting the little brother, not attacking him. So she's a victim. She's just the one turning into a demon. And as he's screaming at his sister to stay strong, stay human, as he begs her, please cling on to life, cling on to humanity, she starts to cry. She's doing just as he asked, as we see someone come running up from the distance, sword in hand. And it was incredible. You see Nezuko react to this assailant running up on them, she reacted, and then Tanjiro also reacted and threw her off. And then this assailant swings this sword, and just what a destructive swing. You see the snow and the wind kick up just from a single swing. You didn't hear him proclaim a technique or anything. He just swung the sword. Nezuko's going berserk, fighting between, or teetering between, demon and human. This assailant goes to seemingly attack Tanjiro and Nezuko, and Tanjiro went to protect Nezuko by crushing them both against the snow. And Nezuko got snatched from him without him even noticing. Now this girl has demon strength. Tanjiro was just saying how strong she was getting, and this guy is holding her with one hand, and Nezuko cannot get loose. This guy is awesome. So this guy starts to talk with Tanjiro, and we find out that she turned into a demon because her wounds were exposed to demon blood. As Tanjiro pleads for Nezuko's life, we get a beautiful image of this guy's sword as he draws it near Nezuko's throat, as he said apologetically that his sister would become a demon and slaughter humans, so he had to kill her. But man, the animation, the art of this Ufotable or Ufotable, whatever they're called, whatever they're supposed to be, this studio is incredible. Tanjiro proclaims that he would hunt down the demon that made Nezuko a demon and heal his sister, all while groveling on the ground. And this guy gets livid. He goes off on Tanjiro, telling him if groveling would have helped, then his sister wouldn't be dead or dying or becoming a demon. His family wouldn't be dead because the demon would have respected his wishes. He tells me he has no respect for him because he's on his knees groveling like that. Super harsh, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. As harsh as this guy is being, he has these inner thoughts of him understanding what he's going through, but he still wants Tanjiro to grow up and move forward, be strong. And shows like this always give us, you know, these uplifting moral speeches. So this guy stabs Nezuko with his sword. Tanjiro picks up a rock, throws it at him. The guy easily blocks it, obviously. Tanjiro throws it, like he circles around, throws another rock. And the guy thinks that Tanjiro is just acting in blind rage. He hits Tanjiro with the hilt of this sword, sending Tanjiro to the ground. Nezuko's shocked at what she's seeing. It's as he's looking down at Tanjiro on the ground, and he realizes that Tanjiro's hatchet isn't in his hand anymore and comes flying right at him. He easily dodged it because this dude's obviously cold. And then he goes back through time in his head and realized what Tanjiro did, that he used some type of strategy and not blind rage to attack him. It was at this point he realized that Tanjiro had potential. And while he's thinking like this, he's let his guard down. Nezuko's escaped and headed toward Tanjiro, and this guy thinks that Tanjiro's about to get attacked by Nezuko, but Nezuko protects him and goes to attack what I'm assuming is a demon slayer. I don't think he said so yet, but what a development to have this girl turning into a demon, and she doesn't really retain herself, but she knows that Tanjiro is her brother, her beloved brother, and she's doing everything she can to retain that memory, retain that bond, and she's protecting him. A demon is protecting a human. Right as Nezuko's jumping all around and she's getting closing in the distance between her and this assailant, she jumps off this tree, leaps toward him, and the assailant reaches for his sword while he's still thinking that these two are different. And instead of slashing Nezuko, or instead of Nezuko reaching him and attacking, he sends this chop, I guess, to her neck and knocks her out. I'm assuming giving both of them the chance to evolve. So they both wake up, and as Tanjiro wakes up, he grabs Nezuko in defense, and the guy, their assailant, tells him to go to some mountain and look for an old man named Tsukonji Urokodaki. And then we learn his name, Gyo Tomioka. So Gil, and then he gives him tips on how to keep her safe before he disappears. Looks like Tanjiro and Nezuko make it back home and bury their entire family. Again, how terrible. They had to bury their entire family, but they did it together. But that's still incredible to me, because this girl is supposed to be a demon now. She's supposed to be a man-eating demon, like, but she's still, like I said, retained her sanity somewhat, and is able to not attack Tanjiro, and is able to, you know, do a simple, well, not simple, but a heartbreaking task, like bury her family alongside her brother, which was that's something else. And right after they finished burying everyone else that they found slaughtered, like, I can't believe, that's terrible. He went out to the market to get some stuff, help some people, came back. He wanted to just come back home that night. Either way, man, either way, it would have been a horrible time for him. But came back home, man, and found all his entire family dead. Terrible. Terrible. And now his sister's a demon. Anyway, after all of that, after they buried him, they both go running up the mountain. I'm guessing heading toward the mountain that Gyo Tomioka sent them to. So this was an incredible episode. I'm super excited to see what happens next, because I mean, I'm guessing that guy was a demon slayer, but I don't think he said so. I want to see more of him. I want to see the demon. Like, I need to see all of this happening. Like, I need to see it. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, check me out on the rest of the social medias, and I will see you next episode.